And what's going on, class? It's your favorite teacher, Dots Cash, and I'm back with a fire lesson today. I think this lesson here is going to be big. It's going to be very informative. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and somebody you may be wanting to attract. You will learn a lot about them as well. So let's waste no time and get straight into it. The lesson today is kind of going to be geared towards the men. But women, please don't let this defer you away from the video. You can learn a lot about men in this video. Fellas, I'm gonna teach you, how to treat a woman right. I'm gonna teach you how to, stay cool. From this video here, you will learn a lot and you will be cool as a cucumber, as they say when you talk to a shorty. So let's get on straight to it. So I've broken each section of the video into different, I will say, chapters. And the first one is the infrastructure. First, before we talk about anything else, we must first lay the groundwork. We must first build the skeleton, the infrastructure of everything that we're going to be talking about today. So, yes, I know this may be a little tedious, but as you guys know, I want to be the best teacher to you. So we have many people watching this. I will lead you guys from beginning to the end so you could get a complete understanding and be, as we've talked about before, liquid. Be able to go from the lower end to the higher end of the spectrum without any issues. Liquid. In order to have diversity in anything, you must have polar opposites so energy can bounce between the two to create an environment. Today, when I am speaking, and I know it is 2023, I can get canceled for saying anything wrong about anybody's gender. When I speak today, I am speaking about the foundation of men and women, but as we know today, a woman can play the man role, a man can play a woman's role, but I'm speaking on as at first, as we were intended to be. But like I said, I'm not trying to stop you from being whatever you want to be. But when I speak today, I'm speaking about men and their roles and women and their roles. There's actually a whole section on roles and responsibilities for men and women, whatever you decide to be. Let's get to it. All right, so at a very basic sense, this is pretty obvious, but we must state it. Us men, we tend to be more physically strong and more resilient and more motivated through adversity than women are. It's just how we were physically wired at a basic level. And women tend to be more intellectually smarter and emotionally smarter than men. As we've spoken about in the previous video in numerology, we are using the 4 elements: physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental. Men have physical and spiritual representing how fired up you are. Once again, not trying to go all the way back to numerology video, but spirituality is represented by fire, how fierce you are, spirituality. And women have mental and emotional intelligence. So they're equally divided, and whatever you decide to be, that is what you will have to embody. If you decide to be a man, you will have to be physically strong and spiritually strong to protect your significant other. If you decide to be the woman in the relationship, you have to be mentally strong and emotionally strong to be able to provide for your man. So now that we have the conceptual facts down, now we can actually start talking about real things. The next chapter, we are talking about the history of how men and women acted. So I want to start this chapter by a historical underlying fact that just sits there and kind of the reason for why we are the way we are today. When our primitive ancestors, the nomads, the people that walked around finding their homes, when they went hunting, whoever killed the food, the animal, they got to eat first. And then after the person who killed the food, normally it went in order of hierarchy who got to eat. And normally hierarchy is set by from strongest to weakest. And with knowing this fact, since the hierarchy went from strongest to weakest to eat first, women tend to eat less since they didn't really kill as much and they weren't really the strongest. And as you guys know, back in those times, millions of years ago, they didn't really have communication and political sense. It was just like you had to strong arm your way to eat. If you see lions and tigers eat now, the strongest eat, and if you try to get in there, they might growl at you, nip at you, because that's not what you're supposed to do. So once the women noticed this, they developed an understanding of having to appeal to the strongest man so they can eat with him. So this is where the politics started to come in. So as we see, we're getting a peek into the future of women using their sex appeal, using their appeal to men to gain a higher rank and advance in their system. All right, and that is all for the history section. I just wanted to lay that down. Like I said, that we just talked about is kind of the reason, butterfly effect, for why we are where we are today, and I will connect the two in just a moment. Next, we are going to talk about roles and responsibilities. Like I said in the beginning, I do not want to get canceled. I know it's 2023. You can be whatever you want, and I am not against it. But when I speak about roles and responsibilities today, I'm going to speak about them in a way where the males have their responsibilities and the women have their responsibilities. Whatever you decide to associate yourself with, just pay attention to that. So men are supposed to do the physical work, like working, getting dirty, building things. If we were still hunting, we would go hunt. We are supposed to provide the necessities, build the foundation for the family. Men, we must understand that the women need to feel safe and they need to feel loved. Women love reassurance. Yes, I know you don't need to be told every day that your wife loves you, or you look good that day, but the women do. They need to feel safe. I spoke about this with one of my homeboys, I think 2 days ago, where I told him that women love the Disney princess story where this knight in shining armor is going to come save her and make her feel safe. She needs a strong man that will protect her, and essentially men are creating an environment for the woman to operate in. Don't let that get over your head. The men are creating an environment that will block all evil, block all bad things from your woman and your family, so your woman can create on the inside of that. So let's switch to the women. The women do the emotional work. And when I say emotional, I'm not really speaking about your emotions, but once again, at a basic level, the women are providing and creating fuel that will allow your man to continue to provide for you and your family. So the women are creating an environment that will allow and give the man energy to create that foundation and structure that will block the negativity and create your guys' own universe where you can do whatever you want in it. I know this seems to be a bit abstract because I'm not trying to pinpoint and say women must do this and men must do this. You can create and do it however you want to, but we are getting a basic understanding so you can create on top of that. So summarizing what I just said, men are creating an environment, a structure that will protect his wife and his family. The women are decorating and creating fuel for the man so he can continue to create the structure and give him energy to continue to work and expand as well. That's important. Women are providing fuel to the man and the family so you guys can expand your universe that I was just talking about. All right, class, we are almost done with the lesson today. We are on the last chapter, and this chapter is kind of going to be a rant for the men. Whenever I get a wife and we solidify ourselves, I'm going to have my wife speak to the ladies on her little rant on how the women should act, but I'm only going to focus on the men. Men, this is where I'm going to give you some game. I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks and give you a foundation to really understand women and how to make her feel like you really like her and to give you the ability to have longevity in your relationship. And first, I'm going to start this by saying, men, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be very honest. Previously, historically, we have not treated our women well. We have not respected them to the way that we know we should have. Let's be honest. However, ladies, if you are still watching this, I kind of want to justify the reasoning for that. Us as men, we are very competitive. At our lower primitive sense, we want all of you. Just being honest, we think all of you are beautiful. And like I said, we're competitive. We want all of you, but men, that is not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to pick one and only give your energy to her, and you guys can create a universe, create a family to do whatever you want. Fellas, we have to stop being lustful. We have to stop seeing women as a tangible object and stop being blinded by the woman's body and her looks. Yes, I know that is what attracts you at first, but like I said, women specialize in their intellect. If the woman doesn't have intellect, what good is she for you? When she gets older and her body and looks, start to decrease in efficiency, what is she going to have for you? Is she going to be late on her mental intelligence because you decided to only go for her body in the past? That's what I need you to pay attention to. Like I said in the beginning, women are biologically wired to seduce you. Since they are trying to use sex appeal, yes, they are going to show a lot of skin. Yes, they are going to wear clothes that are tight to her body to show her shape. And bro, I know when she was talking to you, she was talking to you all cute with a light voice, and she was being nice to you. And I know it sounds like she's flirting, but no, bro, that's not how it goes. Women aren't going to have a deep voice, and and they have to be cute. They have to be appealing. So just because she's talking to you nicely doesn't mean she is flirting with you. You must first be her friend. So we're almost done here, class. And fellas, moral of the story today, we have to, 1, stop being lustful. 2, make the woman in front of you, make her your friend first. Get to know her as a person and not something tangible that you just have. Learn her past and what she has been through. Learn her ideas for the future and where she wants to go. And like I said before, practicing this will set you up for success in the future and allow you to have longevity in the relationship that you will have next. And a plus, this will also save you a lot of time and money, a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted money. So I don't know why you wouldn't do this here. And look, that's all I got for the lesson today. This is just an introduction. We're not going in depth here. We're just going to lay down the groundwork and get you guys familiar with the subject here and what I'm talking about. If you have learned something today, comment what you have learned and see what everybody else has written in the comments. If you have learned something today, send this to a friend or family member so they can learn something as well. If you like what we're doing as a whole, visit us at www.thenorthernstars.co. There you can buy merchandise, see more of what we're doing before we post it on social media. We post there first. Hey man, I hope you learned something new today. That's what we strive to do every time we make a video. We want to help you advance in your life. That's what we're here for. Once again, my name is Dots Cash, the founder of the Northern Stars Co., Continuum.io, Abyss Thrift, Ambu Gaming, and we have a lot more coming. So tap in with us, follow us, subscribe so you can stay up to date on what we have coming. That's all I have for today, family. And as always, stay cool, stay in school, peace and love. Peace out.